Yeah, so happy to have Lily Kershaw. Thanks for taking some time out of your day. I know it's been, like we were talking about, a wild couple weeks for you. Yeah, how have things been?
Things have been good. I started playing shows the end of February, and I only finished at the end of May. So it's been nice to like slow for a second.
Right. I can imagine. Yeah, I can't, I go for like a few days doing this, and I'm just like, wow, I'm pretty tired of this. And then
It's a lot
coming
of
back, I can only
output.
imagine being gone for a few months.
Yeah. It was also wild because at one point I was on airplanes like every day, and I started to be
Yikes.
like, I don't know where I am. And one time I was in an airport in Chicago, but all the merch in the store said Florida for some reason. And for
Interesting.
1 second I was like, okay, I'm in Florida, and I'll just need to figure out how I got here.
Yeah, it sounds very, very confusing to say the least.
Yeah.
I've actually had that happen once where I may have had a couple more airport beers than I desired to have, and I could have swore the plane had taken off and we hadn't even taxied yet. So my fun airport story is that I could have swore we were flying for like 20 minutes and we had not even left.
You want to know what you were flying, and that's all
I
that
was having a
matters.
great time. That's all that matters.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's great.
So growing up, were your parents big music listeners, and what kind of stuff did they listen to?
We listened to a lot of Baroque music on, I feel like specifically the weekends, like driving in the car. So I have a very deep love for Baroque music. A lot of James Taylor. They got me hooked on Simon and Garfunkel pretty early. They definitely introduced me to music from the 60s and 70s, which is still my favorite to this day. So it's probably like that nostalgia that kind of like locks in when you're young.
Yeah, when you kind of started to find your own music, through various ways, what was the music that you kind of clung to? Like I had a Linkin Park phase. What music did you, as like a teen, really just kind of get into?
I mean, I'm a big Simon and Garfunkel fan, so that was like definitely a Simon and Garfunkel height for me, and a Paul Simon height for me. At that time was when like Grey's Anatomy was sort of like determining what music you loved, which I love I still love all that music, but it was definitely like Imogen Heap and I'm just like, there were so many great singer-songwriters of that time, and that like hotel cafe scene. It was just like, and being like a teen in the valley, like I couldn't go to hotel cafe yet, but I was like, oh my God, they're there. You know what I mean? Ingrid Michaelson. Like, remember that Apple? You're probably younger than me. Remember that Apple commercial though with Feist for the iPod? You're definitely younger than me.
I'm 34.
Okay, I'm 33, about to be 34 in 10
so I don't
years.
remember this one. Like the Apple iPod commercial that I remember is like Flathead by the Fratellis.
Oh, no, that sounds amazing, but
Yeah, that was a good one.
you remember the 1, 2, 3, 4, and there was like the colors, and then she was like,
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like in high school I was just like, oh my God, Imogen Heap. I got to meet her recently. That was exciting. It was very brief.
Yeah.
I didn't even say my name. I was just like, hi.
Just a quick hi and just duck and walk away. Like, I ruined that.
Honestly, she probably won't remember it, so I think it's like great. Only I will
just a
have to
memory
live
for
with that.
you. Yeah. Some of those are those memories are the best memories. Where they're never going to remember what you did, but you remember every little bit of it.
You're like, oh. I didn't even
Very
feel embarrassed.
embarrassing.
I was honestly just proud of myself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, good for you, honestly. Like, I don't think if I saw somebody that I was like enamored with, I wouldn't be able to like, oh God, that, go up and say anything. I
Wait,
would
that's
just,
actually true. Because I really love Cat's Eye right now. And I was at a party where they happened to be at this past weekend, and I was like, oh my God, it's Cat's Eye. I just really love the gnarly dance.
Right. Just hanging out in the corner, just like, should I say something?
Yeah.
Or,
I had one friend who was
feel
like,
that.
be cool. And I was like, okay.
I'm trying so hard, yeah.
I was like, I want to learn it. Teach me the dance.
So you've been releasing now music for over a decade at this
Yeah.
point,
Can you believe
which
it?
is insane.
I know.
So how do you feel like the industry has changed during that time? Obviously, like I feel like it's changed a ton during the last 3 or 4 years, but maybe since 2013 you've been releasing music. From then to now, what's the changes?
I would say the biggest change in the industry was probably just like the advent of streaming. And, when I early on in releasing music, like professionally, I sort of realized that like every year or so there seemed to be like a new god. So I feel like when I first came out, like radio was still god.
Yep.
And then a few years later, like YouTube covers were God. And then after that, it was like Spotify playlisting was God. And so for me at this point, I just sort of look at it like different waves are going to roll in, different sort of marketplaces are going to arrive. And we can, individually, you can decide whether to partake or not. And I think as an artist, I just am like focused on making music and then just like, here we are again.
Yeah. Do you, do you mess with the social media aspect of promoting yourself? Are you a big fan of that? Or is this like one of the waves you're like, can't really be a part of this?
I love that you just said mess with. I feel like it's messing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure, kind of. I mean, I don't know. Not properly enough. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Anytime anything I've done does well on the internet, it feels like an accident. So I'm just like, great.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody does it like proper enough per se. Yeah. Like everybody kind of finds like their niche on what works for them in that space. But there's like a handful of artists that do it well, I think.
Totally. But anytime I like have a friend who's another artist who I really love, who I'm like, wow, you're just like so good at social media, and like I love how you're posting and it feels so authentic. They're always like, someone is doing that for me. And I was like, no. Right. I was like, teach me your ways. Or like, it's so like vulnerable. Like, I don't know. I just announced my first ever headlining show at the Troubadour this fall. And amazing. Like posting it today, I was like, so.
Yeah, you just post it, put the phone down, walk away.
Come on here with
you.
Not
to look at it. Right, yeah.
Literally, it's like, I'm going to talk to this guy.
Perfect. Yeah, post it and walk away. I get it. I mean, I do the same thing. Like, and I do this, mostly for a living at this point. I still do it, so it's perfectly fine. So your newest album out last September, entitled "Pain and More," which I think, from what I understand, is like you kind of battling through, some heavy depression. You mind just talking about the album a little bit?
Totally. So I had like a very heavy, like 5-year depression in my 20s that I very, like, people very close to me, like, even wouldn't fully know. Like, it was kind of only as I was coming out of it that I was admitting it. I was very afraid at the time that if anyone knew, like, somehow I wouldn't be allowed to, like, continue, or, like, maybe people wouldn't want to work with me, or, I don't know, I don't know. When I finally started writing about it, and there was only a couple songs, and I kind of thought I was making another record. And then I just sort of started to realize that all the songs that were really like coming to life and moving along were all about depression. So I was just sort of like, I'm just going to talk about this. I also, I'm not depressed right now, or like I haven't been in some years. So it was kind of easier to talk about and to work through and be like, whoa, that was a massive chapter of my life. I can put it all in one place for now. Who knows down the road what comes up,
Of course.
But I'm really proud of that record, and literally not a single line is untrue. It's like, I didn't just write a line to like make it work. I was like, no, I'm going to tell the story, and if the line works, great. If maybe it doesn't fully rhyme, that's fine too. Yeah. A lot of them have non-traditional song structures, like a few of them do, and luckily my co-producer Brandon Walters was like, yeah, that's how it's, like, he at no point was like, fit it into a shape. So that was cool.
Perfect. So like I mean, I've gone through heavy bouts of depression as well, and I've had to like mask through it, and I feel like I've read a little bit kind of coming into this. You talked about how you felt like for a long time you were masking just through the depression. Like writing about it, like looking back at it, do you feel any differently about those 5 years? Like, obviously there's a point of clarity when you're not depressed now, but just kind of how do you feel like writing about it? I don't know if me personally could like sit back and look at my depression and be like so authentic to it.
Kind of felt, looking back, like it had eaten my life, like it had like literally gone whoop on like 5 years of my life. Also just because the fact that I wasn't fully sharing it with those closest to me, it also felt like that was like missed opportunity for aspects of connection even. And I don't know, it definitely helps me to like create. It definitely like moves something in me and helps make like an internal adjustment that I don't perceive those years as a loss anymore, and I can see the strength and the insight and things that I learned from it, even though it's still sad. Sorry. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, you're good. I get it. I mean, listen, I struggle like fairly regularly with bouts of it, and between that and anxiety. So I get it. Yeah, like even when I'm feeling good, like I look back, I'm like, ugh. like
It's hard.
struggle with the masking part even to this day, even though I know it's happening. I'm just like, well, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just because it's what becomes like easy after doing it for so long. You just keep it in. So with everyone I talk to, I kind of pick my favorite song off of the album and, just try to get a little more depth into it. My favorite one off this one is American Dream. I feel like it's fairly self-explanatory in listening to it, but maybe just kind of give us the headspace on where that one comes from.
Well, that's exciting. I love that you love that song. I think that song's so great, which is nice to
I
feel that way about something you make. I was sort of at the tail end of the Depression, and I had a conversation with a friend at another friend's birthday party, and they're not from the U.S., and they were just talking about, like all the things that they had done for their birthday recently and all the things they wanted to do coming up. And I was like, I don't make plans like that. Like at the time I didn't realize, but like depressive brains, it's hard. Like I can't make plans like that, or at least I couldn't. And she just looked at me and she was like, girl, you got to like live your American dream. And I was like, what is she talking about? I was like, an American dream. And then I made a little list of like what that would look like. Yeah. And then I started to write some lyrics about it. And then I think a few days later, I think like it popped back into my head, and then there was a melody and a voice note, and I just sort of like carried it for a while. And then when I started recording, I was like, this fits into the world that I am looking at. And it's nice. It definitely was one of those ones that like once I came back to it, it just sort of like arrived and was like, we're ready, like to be. And I love that it's literally just 4 stanzas. It's not, there's no choruses. Right. And I love the production on that one too. I feel like the drums at the end are very like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, just sort of playing out. I was like, yeah, I'm Simon Garfunkel.
So funny. So are you a collaborative songwriter, or do you more so enjoy doing it like as a solo part of the job?
Alone. I don't know what's wrong with me, because I have so many beautiful songwriter friends who are way better than I'll ever be. But I think because when I'm finished with a song, my brain literally feels like it's had like a chiropractic adjustment. And so I'm looking for that feeling. And I feel like if I don't see it all the way through, I don't get that satisfaction. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So
no,
I just am sort of like, okay, I just need to see this all the way down the line, exactly how it is pushing out. And, I guess if I ever really got stuck, I would take it to someone. But, in general, I enjoy being like sort of a lonely writer. I don't mind spending lots of time alone, and I don't mind like writing for a long time alone.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing. 'Cause, like, I feel like most people I talk to do a very like collaborative form of songwriting. Like it feels like that's like just the way to do it, and for a lot of people. So to find somebody who's like, man, just leave me be and let me do it. Like it's kind of nice, I think.
Thank you. It helps my brain. I always feel a little bummed though. Like I feel like some people are like, let's write, and I'm like, oh, I'm such a bummer to write with. Like I'll be quiet for like 2 hours before I say anything. Like it's not, or I'll be like, here's the whole song at once, and I'll be like, should we edit it? And I'm like, no, it's done. Like, So I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit of a bummer in that respect.
Yeah. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, it's it's your craft, right? It's your song. Like you could do it however you want, right?
Kind of feels like a poem sometimes when I'm writing them too, and I feel like when you're writing poetry, you don't really take it to another person and go like, should we collab on this poem? Right, that could be cool. That's kind of more like, I feel like how I write. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more
that makes sense. That makes total sense. Genuinely, it does. Like, I wouldn't ask somebody. I mean, not that I've written poetry by any means, but
I'm sure you have.
I wouldn't ask somebody to collaborate on it.
People would just say no.
I would,
like,
yeah.
No.
I mean,
they'd be like, I want to write a poem with you.
I'd be like, not really my bag. Like, listen to some music together. That'd be cool.
That's funny.
As a songwriter, do you find listening to music to be as therapeutic as writing it?
Definitely. There was a period of time though, like when I was in a lot of pain, I like couldn't listen to any music. Like it was too painful. It was like, that lyric hurt. Like I couldn't. Yeah. And I'm actually listening to a lot of music right now and a lot of different genres, and I'm just a little bit more curious about production at the moment, and I feel like that's a sign that like the earth is healing inside of me. I'm like, wow, drums, what are those like?
Right. Yeah, I find like again, kind of everybody I've talked to they're more, it feels like they're much more excited about the production of things than they are like I wrote this song, but like, man, I really love producing. Like, kind of an interesting thing for songwriters in general. I feel like, maybe another layer of putting your stamp on that song in a way.
Yeah. I didn't used to feel that way. Like, production used to give me a knot in my stomach.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it would, like, people say, like, taking a picture, like, steals the soul. Like, I kind of always felt like I'd take it in and, like, the baby would die a little bit. Right. Now, I am so excited about production. Yeah. I'm still kind of, like, a person who likes to be a little bit lonely on that journey as well. Yeah. Brandon Walters, who I made Paint and More with, like, had to, like, sneak that people were coming in to work with us. Like, I would be, like, pressed up against the wall, being like, yeah, that sounds great. I just get so nervous. I don't know why. But it was that, I mean, I loved making Paint and More, and I loved all the players on that record. But I'm foraying to just, like, producing more on my own for myself, just because I get ideas and I want to just execute them in the moment. And be like, okay, who's available? What's up? Yeah, right. And I'm way more excited about production than I've ever been,
It's gonna be songwriting, production, everything by Lily. Nothing else. No one else was involved.
Mainly just because sometimes I just want to, like, I can't sleep and I just want to work, but I can't, like, call up a producer with a family that I work with and be like, do you want to work right now? Right. Yeah. I'd be like, no. So I'm like, okay, I'll work.
Leave me alone. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. So in terms of, like, the mental space to things, do you feel like there's enough resources provided by the industry as a whole to artists to try to, like, take care of that space?
I'm like, can I take the fifth?
You can say whatever you'd like here. It's perfectly fine.
There should be more. Yeah. Don't you think?
Always can be more, I feel like, in that space, no matter what.
Especially because we're talking about artists. Like, artists' brains are usually a little different. Right. And that's why they're making art. Right. And if you want to, like, monetize that kind of brain and that kind of human, maybe also just, like, kick a little money to make sure that they're not, like, starving or wanting to hurt themselves or hurting themselves. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, that was, like, the biggest... I don't know, like, eye-opening thing when I have no experience outside of this in, like, the music industry whatsoever. Like, I worked in a warehouse prior to this and zero experience whatsoever. Cool. So the grind of what a tour looks like to me was, like, completely brand new. So, like, there can never be enough spent on resources for people taking care of themselves in this space.
I mean, touring, creating, sometimes I feel like it's almost like the spaces in between touring and making music where you can spin out a little bit more. Because sometimes it feels like endless time, and that is sort of like a scary thing. It's not true. It's not endless time, sadly enough. But, like, I think that it's easier to get maybe self-destructive or fall into mental health issues, or I don't know, it's just hard. But I'm grateful for artists. I'm grateful. I mean, think of all the artists that have, like, saved your life. I mean, that's how I feel about the people I love.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing about it, right? Like, they're probably, like, I mean, not necessarily, but, like, some of them are simultaneously struggling at the same time that they're, like, music is saving you. It's very an odd thought at times.
Oh, it's so nice, though, because, like, I feel like, I don't know, like, makes it feel, like, a little bit worth it. Because I don't feel like it's ever really worth, like, I don't think there's any amount of, like, emotional, mental, physical pain that is, like, worth anything. Sorry, that probably says, I mean, we learn, we grow, we're more resilient, we have, so I think the only thing is to being able to offer it on is, like, I'm a big Joan Didion fan, and I'm reading one of her books right now, and she's no longer with us, and I've been feeling this, like, immense gratitude for her work, and, like, that she can, like, reach beyond the grave and communicate her thoughts and, like, be of service.
Right. Sorry, I'm connection no matter what. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, that connection no matter what matters, right? Like, that's what drives us as people. Any way you could find it, I think that matters. Yeah. Maybe a little less heavy of a subject here. Is there such thing as a guilty pleasure song? Is that a thing? Do you believe in those?
It shouldn't be. Like,
right?
Like, me saying, like, I love Cat's Eye song Gnarly. Like, most people are like, oh, but I thought you liked Baroque and Simon and Garfunkel. Like, there shouldn't be any distinction it should be like, are you having a good time? Is it helping you? Is it doing something for you?
Yeah.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song?
Again, I don't necessarily like believe in the guilty pleasure song.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy a lot of different genres. Like I went through like a very heavy like dubstep phase, and I still
cool.
like enjoy it. Like it's just random. Like I listen to a bunch of folk music now, and like I'll randomly love, like, I don't care, like whatever, if it makes me happy, I don't care. So yeah, I don't believe in a guilty pleasure song. I think it's like a weird way of shaming people in music that they like, and I don't particularly care for that at all. So would Cat's Eye be the song that you would like, people would assume you wouldn't enjoy?
Maybe. Gnarly.
Or is there another like more random one?
Can I look on my phone?
Yeah, go for it.
Is that okay? I mean, I don't know if you know who this is, but I really love Romy Mars's song A-Lister.
I don't know if I know that. Yeah.
She's the daughter of Sofia Coppola, and I actually don't know her dad's first name, but his last name is Mars, and he's I think he's in Phoenix. I feel like I should Google this so I just don't look.
You're good.
So silly.
You're fine.
Can you? I'm like, Romy Mars. Okay, yeah, her dad is Thomas Mars, and isn't he in Phoenix? He's a French musician in the indie pop band Phoenix. So she, probably like Gnarly by Cat's Eye, A-Lister by Romy Mars, but they're fun songs. Like, they're fun songs.
Right. Yeah. If you're having fun, like, I don't, unless it's some like, like, I don't know, borderline weird stuff. I feel like whatever.
No, I just like, don't you want to dance sometimes at a party?
Me personally, I mean, as a man with social anxiety, absolutely not.
That makes me
maybe after a few drinks, sure. Yeah,
well,
we'll have it.
Also have social anxiety, but I feel like it comes out as like over friendliness. It's like my brain sort of breaks in moments, and I'm like, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, wrong question. Like,
right, yeah.
People are always like, oh, she's like really friendly, and I'm like,
no,
I gotta go home.
mine is seeing how close I can get to becoming part of the wall.
Me in the studio.
So yeah, after a couple drinks, we're fine. We're better.
I love that.
We're much more social of a human.
Wait, where do you live? Am I allowed to ask that question?
Yeah, you're fine. So I live outside of Philly.
So far.
Yeah, so far away. I know.
I thought we were gonna be friends. You're like, this is an interview, Lily. This is not friendship. Like,
no, it's fine. We can still be friends. So this is the first time I'm asking this question to anybody on the podcast. So I recently did a playlist where I took a famous piece of art. I did Tulip Fields by Monet, and I tried to build a playlist around the feeling that song or that picture gave me. So kind of in that same vein, I would assume you're familiar with Starry Night by Van Gogh.
I knew you were going to say that.
I feel like I had to pick one that I feel like you 100% would know.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you're like huge into art.
I love art, but I already know the song that would pair with it.
Yeah, what song would you pick?
Do you know Laura by Bat for Lashes?
I don't think I do. I might have to listen to it after this.
Heartbreaking, and watch the video as well. I think it came out over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you said, I had this feeling, I was like, he's going to say Starry Night. And then I was like, well, we can't say Starry, Starry Night, the song either.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, what gives me that sort of twinkling sadness? And I was like, Bat for Lashes song, Laura.
Amazing.
It's really good. That's so cool. I love that question.
Thank you. I love like that playlist for me. Like everybody was like, merp. I was like, whatever, that's fine. I enjoyed doing it.
I think it's an amazing idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. And you want to know what? If they can't keep it with brilliance, leave them behind.
No, you are way too kind to me. So what about a song in your discography, maybe not your most popular, but just one you're the most proud of?
Probably Poem Song on Pain and More. I hope it becomes more and more popular. People seem to bring that song up to me a lot right now. It was a song that originally was like, one of those like 9-minute long voice notes. And very similarly to the song American Dream, it also doesn't have a chorus. It just has stanzas. Yeah. And I sort of realized that like the back 3 minutes of that voice note were really special. And I tried very hard to write a chorus. It didn't happen. And so when I took it to Brandon, who I made Pain and More with, he was like, I think it is just what it is. And I love it so much. It like definitely made me feel freer after recording it. And every time it sort of like pops up if I'm doing like if I'm listening to like Spotify DJ, and they're like, here's some Lily Kershaw, and I'm like, really? That's crazy.
Amazing, right?
It's kind of nice, but have you ever used Spotify DJ?
I've not. I used it when it first came out. I used it once, and I was just like, I'm all set.
I don't know why, but it does it for me, because sometimes I cannot choose my own music. And when I'm in that choice paralysis, I'm very grateful for it, especially if I'm like walking, yeah. Or driving, then you don't have to touch your phone. And I think one time it was like, now we've got something really special for you. Lily Kershaw. I was like, so special. I
love that. That's probably that's gotta be a weird feeling. I mean, I know it's gotta be weird. Yeah. It's still weird for me.
Right audience.
Right. It's still weird for me when people are like, oh, like you, like that dude who does like songs on TikTok. I'm like, yes, that is me. That is weird.
Yeah. When I first heard about you, I like went and saw your profile, and then a bunch of my friends were following you, and I was like, oh my God. And I like called them up. I was like, who's this guy?
Oh my gosh.
They're like, he's great.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like I just really random people, like just the most random of people will just be like, hey, let's see you. And I'm like, that is me. Yes, that is me. Let me disappear into the darkness now. So you said you've been listening to a lot of music lately. What is a song or an artist that you've just been obsessed with recently?
Okay. Let Down.
Back on the spot.
By Radiohead.
Okay.
Do you know this song?
I do know that song.
So it started trending on TikTok, I will admit.
Right.
I got indoctrinated by that.
It happens.
And then Spotify very kindly informed me that I listened to 302 minutes of that song last week.
Amazing.
Which sounded very concerning until I did the math and I realized it was only about 5 hours, which made it only a little concerning.
Right.
And I was like, oh no.
Mildly concerning, yeah.
I'm just one of those people that like the hyperfixation is real. Like when I latch onto a song, I'm like, we are not stopping.
You just play it to death, right?
One time this is probably gonna sound dark, but I took a plane from Paris back to LA, and I listened literally the whole time. Let me just make sure I don't get the. Do you like Ben Queller?
It's so funny you bring up Ben Queller. Literally, somebody had mentioned I was in Nashville a couple days ago. And do you know who Michigander is?
No, but I'm down to listen.
His name's Jason Singer. He literally, like, who are you obsessed with recently? He's like Ben Queller. Like,
wait,
very
that's
odd
funny.
turn of events here. Yeah.
Let me find this song. I love that he said that. You have to listen to the song. Oh, it's 13. Of course, it's like his song, you know.
His song.
But I listened to it on a whole flight, the song 13 by Ben Queller, and it just
from Paris to LA.
Yes, I probably was sleeping at a certain point.
Oh, I hope so. That's a long long time to be listening to one song.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I can do it.
That's amazing.
It's a great song. But yeah, probably Let Down by Radiohead. That bridge sticks a knife into my heart, twists it, and I say thank you. Thank you for that.
Right. I'll have some more, thanks.
Yeah, please.
5 hours later, you've had enough.
Wait, I have another song for you, which I'm sure you know as well.
Let's hear it.
Matt Berry's Take My Hand.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. I was also influenced by TikTok. Like a few months ago. And
got you.
My little sister, we're 8.5 years apart. We live in very different cities. Yeah. And the amount of times we will randomly, and she's not on any social media, so she's not, this is just a weird sister thing.
Yeah.
The amount of times she'll be like, I'm obsessed with this song, and she'll send it to me, and I'm like, no, I'm obsessed with that song. Did you ever hear this song by Ghost called Mary on a Cross?
I have.
Actually, that's probably my guilty pleasure song. Like,
okay.
I feel like most people aren't gonna, like, I'm not gonna go walk around being like, Mary on a Cross.
Right.
My little sister and I were like, at the same time, Mary on a Cross. And it was shocking because we were like, there's no reason why we should both like that song other than maybe just DNA.
It has to be that, right? It's the only thing you could chalk it up to is that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mary on a Cross.
Love it.
But listen to Matt Berry's Take My Hand. It also like hurts, and it makes me want to live, and it makes me want to like run to a stranger and be like, where are we going right now?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Yeah, I'm going to listen to it as soon as we get off here because I would love to run up to a stranger at the moment and see what's happening.
I love that. There's two versions though.
Okay.
And one is
Which
like
version of either one?
You can listen to either one, but the album one, I will warn you, at the end he says the word witch hazel very, very loudly. And I didn't know that. And my sister came to visit and I was playing it for us in our car because, you know, we love this song.
Yeah.
And at the end, my whole car just erupts with witch hazel. And my sister was like, ah! It was so frightening.
A little jump scare at the end of the song. Bring you back to reality a little bit. I like it.
I'm back.
Perfect.
You get adrenaline from that instead of running to a stranger.
Okay, I will. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, you're right. I'll do that instead. I guess what for you? What's the most rewarding part of being an artist?
I think that writing and working in this way like has helped me to be more accepting of myself. And parts of me that have been hard to look at, it like allows me to look at them. So that feels very rewarding. And then like my hope is that people are more accepting of themselves as well, like in response to the music, and know that there's nothing wrong with them. We're all just doing the best we can. And of course, meeting people out on the road, out at shows, hearing about their experiences, like it's very, very, very special.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no doubt. I can not that I can relate to like the meeting people on the road situation other than like random people saying what's up. But yeah, I can only imagine like that connection matters, right? Like
it does.
We're back to like connection matters in humanity. So I guess kind of wrapping up in terms of, you know, you said you had a show at the Troubadour coming up.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for Lily, and what are we excited about?
Well, I got to open for Dawes a couple of weeks ago at
Amazing.
Gallagher Way at Wrigley Field in Chicago, so that was pretty special.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And I'm going to open for them again in New Jersey. I think it's in Red Hook, New Jersey, in July.
Okay.
And I love Dawes, so that's very exciting. And then I'm going to headline the Troubadour for the first time in the fall. I think I'm going to play some other shows around then too. I'm like setting up my own studio at the moment, and I'm like just going to make new music and free myself and keep it.
Perfect. Yeah. Back into the solo songwriter producer in your own studio. Love it.
I still want to work with other people, but I don't know. I at least want to like flesh things out and just in a way that I know no one's watching. And then once it's more in a shape, be like, what about this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like this, or should I?
Do you feel anything when I?
Right. I love it. Well, right? Again, I appreciate you taking time today,
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear the new music that eventually comes out, and maybe catch a show if I'm ever out that way.
Or I'll come